Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Happy New Year and welcome back to the Atlanta Grill Company. Our first video for 2021. I'm going to break out the PKGO portable charcoal grill and we're going to cook a rack of lamb. So let's get started. I'm going to get started on this cook by prepping this rack of lamb. This is the first time I've cooked one of these guys, and they're rather small. This one is like 1 1/3 pounds for the entire rack. So the first thing I want to do is I want to drizzle on just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to rub that out on both surfaces of this rack. And then I'm going to season this rack, and I'm going to start out with the Atlanta Grill Company Himalayan Sherpa. I'm going to get a layer of that on here, which is our basic salt, pepper, garlic rub, and then I'm going to flip that and get a nice coat of it on the top side of this rack. And then I'm just going to pat that in, and then I'm going to come behind that with the Atlanta Grill Company Garlic and Herb, which should bring a really special flavor to this rack of lamb with some extra garlic in there. And I'm just going to pat that on. We'll flip it over and get some of that on the back side as well. And I'm just going to let that sit. I've put that little bit of olive oil on there kind of as a binder, and we'll just let that sit for a few minutes and then we'll vacuum seal it. And now that I've let that sit for a few minutes, I'm just going to put it in the vacuum sealer, and we're going to get a nice tight seal on that. And I'm going to toss that back in the refrigerator and let that work. Let those spices and salt go to work on that. You would want to do that for at least 8 hours, but I'm going to go about 24 hours on this one. Okay, we've let that marinate overnight in the refrigerator. So I'm going to fire up the PKGO today. I'm going to get a chimney full of charcoal going here. Now that my chimney of charcoal is nice and hot, we're just going to dump this over 1/2 of my grill here. I think that's about all we need. I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit here and get it all together on one side. And then we're going to put our grill grates in position. I get both halves of that in here. And then I'm just going to close this guy up, let this grill preheat. So I've given our PK plenty of time to get nice and hot. So I've taken my rack of lamb out of the refrigerator, unpackaged it. We're going to put it on here. And we're just going to let that cook. Lid open. We're going to get a nice sear on that back side of it, and then we're going to turn it over and get it seared here. So we're going to give this a minute or two here. While that's cooking, I'd just like to take a moment here to ask you for your support. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and then click the bell icon to get an alert each time we post a new video. If you're watching on Facebook, how about giving us a thumbs up or share the video if you think it's worth seeing? Your support will help us keep these channels going. So now we're just going to give it a turn, and we're going to keep this moving. We're going to get some nice char on this, and then we're going to give it a turn the other direction a little bit. Just kind of keep this guy moving on here. Then we're going to give it another flip. Then we'll flip it again. You just want to keep your eye on this guy and keep it moving and don't let it overchar. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with what it looks like on the outside. So I'm going to move it over to the indirect side of the grill, and we're going to let this guy continue to cook. I want to get my internal temperature here up to around 130 degrees or so. So at this point, like I said, I'm going to move it over here to the indirect side of the grill. I'm going to close my vents down a bit and close the lid. Okay, this guy's got an internal temperature up where I want it. It's up at about 130. So we're gonna pull this off and rest it for a few minutes. Okay guys, I've let these rest. Have a look at that. I've cut these down into some 2-bone racks to serve that. And I'm gonna take a little piece off the end here, have a taste of that. That looks amazing. Oh yeah. Guys, that is super tender. That is amazing. You're gonna have to give this a try. No matter which grill you decide to cook it on, use this technique. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Until next time, this is John Setzler with Atlanta Grill Company.